This is a Gorilla Podcast Network production.
Welcome to the Late Night PotLuck Show. PotLuck Show. PotLuck Show. PotLuck
Show. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. This is Late Night PotLuck Show, episode 31, coming at you from the Night Owl Studio, hanging out with the crew. And this is your host, Dave. We got a cool guest. We got something special for tonight. We got we did a potluck style. Everybody brought a little something. Well, not everybody, but including myself. All right. But let's start off with you, Manny. What's on your mind? Get it off your chest.
Listen, get it off my. I was gonna say you. I feel like you kind of cheat. Like, don't you guys feel like he doesn't bring anything, but then he'll pop out the hot sauce bottles. Like, you're like, I brought something.
That was in his trunk.
You know what I mean? Like, it was already in his trunk for the last few months. Nah, you know what? What's on my mind? There's a whole lot on my mind. A whole bunch. But unfortunately, I had to leave early. But this past week's Kawit event was really beautiful. The location that we're at, I know we went out there. There was plenty of other people. Actually, our guests were there. They're actually really good friends with Kawit. Just excited to be back. And actually, talking about the potluck style, it was our guest's idea of, you know what? Hey, let's do potluck style stuff. And so a bunch of us brought stuff in. We'll give you a pass this week, Dave. But we're good on my end. Rio, how was vacay, Rio?
It was good, man. It was a good 2-week break from winter because I was there wearing shorts and sandals. So it's a good
rub it in.
It was a good. So I went home to the Philippines for 2 weeks to attend a wedding. So, but
we were envisioning you coming off the plane,
getting autographs, baby.
Crowd going wild.
Wow,
you were a celebrity out there. That's what we were.
That was just a dream. That was just a dream.
Shout out to Philippines.
Shout out to the Philippines once again.
But I was there having fun, trying different food, but at the same time, I'm missing out here. I missed 2 episodes or Late Night PotLuck Show, and also missed that Kawit event last weekend. I heard it was good. I told Kevin and said, I won't miss the next one. I won't miss the next one.
Definitely. Vito?
Not much going on food-wise, guys. Not much. Preparing for the spring, though. Debating on markets and what should I do, what should I not. How was what?
How's the soup kitchen been?
It's been good. I've been getting creative with my menus. Testing myself, testing my limits. I have a lot of people reaching out to me to volunteer. I'm looking for sponsors. So anybody listening, you could sponsor me for $500. It'll feed up to 150 people. I do it every Thursday. Hit us up at the Late Night PotLuck Show, DM us, and I'll give you more information. But other than that, just looking forward to spring, maybe do some markets. I don't know yet. Me and Manny talk about something that I saw, a little trailer stuff, but we'll talk about it soon enough.
Well, that's dope, man. I had the pleasure of joining Vito this past Thursday. How many people? 60 people?
And that facility, yeah. We also feed the other one. There was about 50, 55 people.
Yeah. That was cool. It was definitely a good experience, especially with the kids. Bring the kids along, and they get to help out as well. Help feed, the community.
I put they to work.
I saw that you made stuffed cabbage.
Yes,
that
I
was
did
really
the prep
good.
the day before.
All right.
So I did about 145 stuffed cabbages. Some had meat, some had veggies, a little bit of both.
Nice.
Dave over there putting his sauce. It wasn't hot sauce, but it looked like it. But I put them right on the stove.
So don't forget to follow us at Late Night PotLuck Show on Instagram and Facebook, and look us up on YouTube. Catch some of our older videos. We got some new videos coming up soon. And I got nothing. Just reach out and hit me up.
How did you do at the fundraiser, man?
Oh shit, that's right. Yeah, that was a good fundraiser, man. That was dope. So ABCD hosted their first annual fundraising event, and hopefully, it continues from there on out.
I'm already signed up for the next one, bro.
So we had V, you should talk about it. You put this together. What was the event for?
So it was called Love Our Community fundraiser. Basically, with all the cutbacks and SNAP and things like that, we're just trying to get back to the community any way we can, whether it's buying food, doing food drives and things of that nature. And the money we save for that can help that. We had 150 tickets sold at $75 a piece. So you do the math, went pretty well. Had some silent auctions.
I don't want to do math.
And raffles. Well, then you know what? Put your fingers up, bro. But it was a great event. You got to catch it on ABCD Inc. on Facebook. There's some videos and photos. Good time.
Shout out to Chris Clark. Did a great job hosting it.
Shout out to the Langley Project, too. The band, they did their thing.
Yo, this whole for a while I thought it was just like records playing, right? When I looked over, he was singing live.
Oh, and there was finally like an opening for you to be able to see through the crowd.
No, he left his cousin.
That was a height joke, V. Come on.
He's short too. He wouldn't get it.
Yo, you know what? You don't get fed today, bro.
I don't get fed. I'm closer to the food than you are.
Nah, our guests ain't gonna allow that.
The guests ain't gonna. Hey, listen, we've already discussed this over taquitos, so there's not a problem there.
Talking about our guests. Let's jump in. Let's introduce our guests before we get into our food. We have a team here. They're representing Box 8, Carissa and Sam.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Real quick, just talk about what is Box 8 and what is that you do for in that team.
Okay, so my name's Carissa. I'm the social media director at Box 8. So we are a branding agency. We focus primarily on food businesses, restaurants, food manufacturing,
packaging.
Yeah, anything of that nature. And we're a branding agency, so we do everything from creating a brand, starting with like
visuals, kind of how it translates onto social media, how it translates to web, print, and I think kind of today what we're hoping to get into is explain branding as a whole. It's sometimes someone comes and says, okay, I want a logo and there's my brand, and what we really do is create so much more than that. So
yes, and Sam is amazing also.
Yeah, that other voice you hear is Sam, the other half of this duo.
Sam, Antha. Been Box 8, Jeremy kind of put my email together, Sam, parentheses, Antha. People were emailing me, not really knowing Sam, girl, guy.
I saw that. Samantha.
Yeah. So I'm Sam. I've been at Box 8 for almost 4 years now, and I'm one of the lead graphic designers there. So I've been working now with Carissa on social media probably for almost a year and a half. You've been there?
Pretty much.
And Box 8's been really fun job working. First time kind of working within the food and hospitality industry, and it's been a blast.
And I'm sorry, and you guys been working with companies like Blind Rhino, ShareCon. What's name some of the other companies?
Yeah, we were just thinking about which brands we've done in Bridgeport. At lunch, we were talking about that.
Yeah,
so
I know Blind Rhino just kind of opened up. It was their second location. It's in Black Rock, right?
Yep.
Metro's a big one, which is close to you guys. And
Yep.
now we also have
Black
the
Rock.
New Haven.
And Fairfield, yeah.
Yeah, there's the Chelsea, Little Barn. I'm trying to name a handful of other things that are open here. Brewport is one of the big clients.
Done a lot of Fairfield.
Did you guys ever meet Chef Felito from Chelsea?
Chef. Jeremy and Chuck are probably a little bit more familiar with the Chef's Interaction. I have not too much for Fairfield. I've kind of come in, we've kind of been doing a lot more work in New Haven once I've been there. So.
I would say you can use the Tasty Yolk.
Yeah,
he's the
Tasty.
owner and chef of the Tasty Yolk.
I've seen them on Instagram, and it looks amazing.
Yeah. He was the executive chef of the Chelsea at one point, and once they opened the storefront, he removed himself from the Chelsea to focus only on the Tasty Yolk storefront. They've been killing it.
Cool.
But once again, thank you for joining us. We have a lot of food to go around and taste. So we'll just start throwing questions at you as we move around.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start, Manny?
Why do I always have to
Because
start somewhere?
you said you were the closest to the food.
True.
I'm talking junk to him. You
Okay.
just want me to start so I can feed you. Like, that's every time.
Just
You know what?
grab
Let
the
me
food, man.
holler at some of the stuff over here. We got quite a few things, so I'm actually going to let the individuals who made these things, as we go through them, explain them. But I made like taquitos, like homemade taquitos, even though they're like tacotes because they're a lot bigger. So one half of it that way has chorizo in it, Mexican chorizo. This half here has Portuguese linguiça. which is another form of, it's another like mild sausage, chorizo style almost, or actually longaniza style, but whatever. They have cheese in them, a little bit of refried beans to hold everything together, and then they got a fried flour tortilla in them. It also comes with a avocado cilantro crema over there and some store-bought pico, because I was not gonna sit there and make pico today.
Better pass this time.
What else? What do we have here? What is this here? What's that, Carissa?
So I always have to bring the vegetables. That's like my thing. So I made like whatever, I guess, like this quinoa salad with there's a bunch of like dates in it, walnuts, and then I cooked up like some crispy kale and broccolini, and I'm trying to think of what else I put in it. Lemon, olive oil, salt. It's pretty simple.
Carissa has able to say, oh, it's just so simple. She'll whip together these like elaborate meals so quickly, and it's just so easy and simple to her, and I list out the ingredients. Okay.
Yeah, right. That's gonna make me feel good. Eating that is gonna make me feel good about eating all the
Everything
stuff that
else.
I made.
Exactly. I figured you guys would make stuff that's so delicious. We need like a little help.
There you go. Yeah. What do we got over here?
Kind of going off, Carissa, there's a few vegetables in there mixed with a whole lot of cheese. I made a spinach and artichoke dip, which I kind of have probably made it a staple for myself every time we go to any sort of Friendsgiving, potluck. Nice. Everyone's really happy and really pumped when I bring it, so now it's just, okay, Sam, we're going to bring the dip, right? I'll make the dip.
I could easily, after like going to a show and a few beers, like eat an entire pan of this.
Yeah, I'll just make it by the tray now and keep it in the fridge.
Maybe 5 minutes.
When I first started to make it, it was I kind of normally put them in puff pastries, and so they're little spinach and artichoke bites, which is a little bit more work and time, and this is just a dip. So artichoke, spinach, cream cheese, Parmesan cheese, mozzarella cheese.
I'm gonna get some of them chips and start dipping in that. You guys take just like a dab of it and just give me that bowl.
Yes.
All right. I guess we'll go over to the guy behind the camera so he can explain what he brought, Mr. Fancy
Why
Pants.
you a hater, bro?
I'm not a hater. I just you've been mean to me today. So.
Nah, man. Nah.
You guys
Well,
definitely have beef right now.
we do. Usually I got beef with that bearded man over there, but
He's intimidated by
it's
the
about
beard.
Manny today. I think he left me inside. That's why, like a little puppy.
So what do we got here?
I also have veggies, but I also have
Dang, y'all
rice
making me
and
feel bad. What the hell?
octopus. And a little bit of fresh herbs too.
Octopus.
So I want y'all to taste the herbs and let me know what you think's inside. It's a guessing game.
Herb.
And then I have 2 sauces, one green Thai sauce and the other, your peanut sauce. Homemade, so let's see how that goes. Mr. Asian over
That was
there.
shots fired right there.
Blah, blah, blah. We like to talk
Are you
more
saying?
fight.
Are you talking like Asian because I love Asian inspired foods? Or are you talking to
when
the
I
actual,
was rolling every
are you
single
talking
one?
to the actual Asian
This
over
is
here?
for Manny.
Like,
This is for Manny.
Uh-huh.
Not the Filipino. That's my boy.
All right, move on.
Let's move on to what Riel. You brought in some.
Also, beer. Our guest brought beer from Two Roads. It's
It's one of
Manny
our
Rod.
favorite places.
You
Two Roads.
You say it with your sexy voice when you say that.
So I said it with a sexy voice.
Yes.
I can't even do it now.
Now I can.
So we've spoken about this series coming from Two Roads in the past. So we've had quite a few of their different flavors in this series, and it's the Goza series. This is actually one of the newer flavors in this series, and this is the Rosé Goza, 100% real grapes brewed inside this ale. So let's see, is there anything special? It says they usually say stuff in the back. Let's see. No, this says the same thing. Oh, inspired by the great rosé wine of the south of France, we chose to feature the Grenache grape, if I said that right, in our Rosé Goza.
Had to bring the bougie.
Yeah.
The bouginess right there.
Nice. Well, the other one is the opposite of sexy. The name of the beer is Lizard's Breath. So I don't think that it can make it more sexy than that, even if you say it. Well, it came from it's another Connecticut beer from Firefly Hollow Brewing Company in Bristol, Connecticut. So it's an IPA that they have. So the description what they have here is Lizard's Breath is deceptively delicious with just enough bites. So deceptive, the name.
I just want to know, has anybody ever smelled, especially you, Dave, you ever smelled the lizard's breath?
Wow, that
I've
was
heard-
so random.
I
It said lizard's breath. I just want to know if somebody's ever like.
somebody pointed at Sam, so I want to hear this story.
Just 4 times.
Just 4 times? Oh, okay.
Please explain.
4. Can you explain one of those?
Maybe afterwards.
Hey, and I brought in hot sauce.
Oh, you brought it in hot.
Is it
What?
homemade?
It's homemade.
Oh, okay.
Where are these
You
spices?
should label that.
Actually, it was in a commercial kitchen.
You might incriminate yourself.
Yeah, I know.
But homemade, no.
All
Shut
right,
down.
so let's feel free to dig in. Let's start digging in. As we're eating, we're gonna start interviewing our guests and getting more into them because this show's about them. So welcome again.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out. And so, how? Let me ask. I'll start with Carissa. How did you get started in this field that you're in now?
That's a good question because I feel like I honestly feel like the industry I'm in is like the Wild West of like the internet still, because I feel like the job I have didn't exist like maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So I kind of got into this really randomly. I went to Southern for English and philosophy, and I had no idea what to do with that. So naturally, I was waitressing. And I was working at this restaurant in New Haven called Atelier Florian, and they needed social media, and I kind of just started doing theirs, like, just cause, I guess, just because they needed somebody to do it. And it started getting noticed by people, and, like, they got a lot of attention. I ended up getting them an article with the New York Times, like, kind of from that, and, like, networking and PR for the first time from that. And it was always kind of like my side hustle type of job. And then I kind of started going full-time with it in the summer of, I guess it was 2018, I think. I started working with Atticus, which is I guess a cafe and
Bookstore, right?
Yeah,
Bookstore.
cafe bookstore in New Haven. I started working with them, and then that led to working with Box 8. Worked with Delania a little bit before that, pizza restaurant in New Haven. And then I just came on to Box 8 as like a contractor, and it just like
Evolved into this.
evolved
Huge
into
role.
this huge thing, and now we have like, I think altogether it's going to be 12 social media clients. So, and it started from nothing. So
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. How about yourself, sir?
So I also went to Southern. I knew of Carissa. We kind of saw each other. First time I actually met Carissa Boxing, I was like, hey, we went to Southern together. She's like, I have no idea who you are.
I'm notorious for this. I did this to my own boyfriend too.
Yeah. So had a few internships, graduated Southern, had a few different short design jobs with ESPN for a quick contracted role, was up in Massachusetts at a promotional agency, and then was kind of struggling with graphic design and kind of how I wanted to take my career. And I kind of wanted to get back to Connecticut. I had no idea I'd be able to work and live in New Haven. When I found this position, I was thrilled because favorite city and sounded like a pretty cool job. And I started there, 4 years ago when it was just Jeremy, Chuck, a web developer, and myself. So I was the fourth employee when it was back still small, and I had a tiny computer facing a wall. And since then, we've moved upstairs, and there's almost maybe 10 employees now.
Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Depending on the day. Sometimes
5,
it gets
6.
late.
She's using her fingers.
Yeah, no, I
It
am.
always works. The finger method works.
You gotta. Okay, this is Ashley. This is like.
Yeah.
You got to think about them in your head too, right? You got to put like the face.
Visualizing
and
the
like,
room.
Yeah, we typically have 6 full-time employees and then at least 2 interns at any given time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So the other day I was on the Box 8 Instagram account, and I'm scrolling, and I see a couple of posts saying we're hiring. I was like, shit, I gotta keep an eye out. I'm gonna
You gonna make the jump?
I'm gonna make the jump from IT to, well, I do a little bit of design, but I'm in IT as well. So, but I'm trying to get out of there.
He's our social media and branding coordinator.
I mean, we have a robust internship program. I highly recommend.
There you go.
Just your size.
So so go ahead.
He can't talk about size.
Yeah. I know. So So, what type of services you guys Box 8 provides? I know you guys do branding, designing, like you mentioned logos earlier. Some of this is mention some of the services.
So I think start to finish is kind of a good example to kind of explain what we do is talking about ShareCon, and especially because you guys have been there, I feel like you kind of get an understanding for what we'll be talking about. So sometimes typically someone comes to us when they're wanting to open a new restaurant or they're looking to rebrand a current existing restaurant, which is what Mecha did. ShareCon had come to us. Ankit had this new concept that he wanted to start, and we actually started the process. We helped him name ShareCon, the restaurant. So we had brainstorms on brainstorms. We have a big whiteboard in our office, a whole whiteboard wall. So we're up there kind of shooting out absolutely anything and everything. And it just ended up working out. Everyone was happy with ShareCon and kind of going off the illustration of the tiger from the Jungle Book. It was actually one of our design interns at the time who illustrated that out, and we all kind of worked collaboratively to design this brand visually. Right. And so then we present a few different concepts when we're pitching what we want the restaurant to look like, design it out graphically, so everything you guys see from like the signage to the menus, print different takeout menus that they have there, anything, and we'll work with the interior designers a little bit, so putting the different pieces of the brand on the restaurant wall itself. And then from there, we kind of continue the relationship working with them and website, social media, kind of even voicing the business a little bit, depending. With ShareCon, I think we've done that too, just kind of the glossary terms and explaining different menu items and translating that around everything.
Yeah, you guys did a great job with that.
That's
Definitely, I love the art. Even the restaurant. I'm not sure if you guys were involved with the interior.
Ankit worked with a specific interior designer, I think, to do a handful of that, but he showed us with like the bikes hanging from the ceiling and the big murals on the wall, who I think Ben Keller did.
Yeah, Ben
popular
Keller,
local artist.
He's I've never actually met him in person, but Ben Keller, if you're listening to this, I love you from afar. Your work, at least. I think he's based in Willimantic, and I'm from Coventry, so I'm like, you know, he's representing my like Wyndham, Talon County area. So, but he's amazing. He's done a ton of like incredible murals. He did all of them in ShareCon. He's done a bunch of public work in Willimantic. I admire him from afar.
I had the luxury of trying out the food. I won that the giveaway. These guys were hating on me.
I got to choose you. It was so cool.
I wasn't hating on him. I was irritated with him.
So
I wasn't hating.
It was completely fair. So
Yeah,
I got
check
to.
this out.
I'll tell you now. I wish I recorded it, like on my phone. You know, like on my screen recorder. But so whenever I do a giveaway, first off, it's so weird. I get like a god complex where I'm like, I get to choose someone to be the one that receives whatever this thing is. But I just like copy and paste all the comments into a randomizer, and then I just choose the person, and it really was you. So
the
you won fair and square.
Part of it was we don't doubt it. We don't doubt it. The part that gets us is this guy won like 28 contests in a span of like 3 weeks, right? And then that one day we had planned to go to. We were actually up the road at House of Naan. I was doing they reached out to me to do little posts for them. Went over there. He also has a page called Spice Action, so he went with me. I went. Dave was supposed to go with us, right? And it was later on in the day. You still could have made it. Like the ShareCon event could have. He completely ignored us about the ShareCon. Like he completely just ignored us. Went up to ShareCon. Then he decided
because it was too good.
Then he decided to show us pictures about it later. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, look. Yeah, thanks. And he was supposed to bring one of us too. He said it. We were the ones he tagged.
But you brought your wife.
Yeah.
So like, I respect that.
Yeah.
I'm the side dude. I need to.
It was good.
Did you
We
tag
went
your
to
wife?
that too.
Yeah, that's right. We were there.
Yeah.
You tagged your wife in that one too?
The Diwali brunch.
Yeah, it was really good.
Oh my god, this dip.
I told you. It's
God.
literally crack. I will eat this in minutes.
Yeah.
You weren't lying about the cheese though, too. Oh my god.
There's a lot of different cheese in there.
I got no problem with that. There's never too much cheese. I'll
No.
tell you that.
When it comes down to branding, as far as designing, talk about some of the. I mean, if you can, what are some of the mistakes people do when designing their own product, or what? Maybe the question should be, what are some tips, or what to avoid?
I think when we've even then worked with clients who come to us wanting a rebrand is I think we help really keep everything consistent, and that way it looks, because the brand is so much more than that logo and then what it looks like, so we keep that voice really consistent, so someone looks at the product on social media, they go and they look at it at the website, it's the same thing, there's maybe that same little mark and all the colors are the same, and so people kind of then you start to notice without even reading the full brand. Mecha noodle bar, you're going to see the little square and you're going to know that it's Mecha, and you're going to have that like connotation from what you've been constantly seeing, and so colors help with that too.
I'm sorry, I'm seeing his response.
Go ahead.
Being for quinoa, like, this is really good.
What is it?
Quinoa?
Quinoa.
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 Yo, what you been smoking, bro?
Yo,
You like it,
I
really?
don't eat this.
Yo, it's mad good.
It's so good.
So
The
I
dates
never-
add that nice sweetness, and you got a savory like
Oh, I forgot. I put Aleppo pepper in it too.
oh my god.
Aleppo
I don't know who
pepper.
that is, but Aleppo, whoever you are,
You have to share the risk.
I love you.
I'm trying to get Carissa to make a cookbook. I
Yeah.
think it's genius. Ex-waitress
this is good.
cookbook. It's gonna
There's a little
happen.
sourness, but this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, oh my god.
I'm sorry.
I need a
Sam.
refill.
So
I need a
like
refill.
umami, like you're getting like a bit of everything going on there. Like,
And it's simple. She said it's simple ingredients. Like just a few ingredients.
she said simple. Then
is
you
a
heard
lot?
the list of.
I know, right?
Just quickly
No, it
whip
was
together.
simple. I was busy today. I didn't have a lot of time to cook.
That's good. I'm sorry, Sam. So, keeping it simple. I mean, so if you took a look at my bottles, I that kind of came together accidentally.
We've seen, I think, because you handed a bottle of this. Was it at the brunch that you passed it off? Yeah, so we're looking at this. I love it. I think it's great. I think grabs my attention right away. I think it's funny, know who it is. And two, I'm like, it's a personal thing, but anything that's kind of like loud and a bit humorous grabs my attention.
Yeah.
Because I
Oh
think
my
it kind of
God.
like, it appeals to everybody.
I was scared
typically.
because I did, when you're starting, you're, bootstrapping, doing everything yourself, funding yourself, not, going
Yep.
to, and I did absolutely everything. So I was kind of like afraid of like this, but when I started in the farmer's market, people were noticing it from other stands and walking over just because of the label.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do whether they like hot sauce or not. They just wanted to see the label. And I was like, okay, well, I got something right, besides the recipe. But yeah, I've been lucky that I kind of nailed it. But people love it. I get compliments on the label all the time.
Yeah, I think it because immediately grabs the attention with your face, and it kind of without reading something, it looks hot sauce, and then with the hierarchy of, and I think too a big part is with sometimes packaging design, it differs for each client and what they're trying to do, but the black and white label, then because that complements everything around it, and especially what's inside the bottle too, which is
Right.
just as important as
Yeah,
the
and I
packaging.
gotta give thanks to my wife because I was gonna add a lot more color. She's like, no, keep it black and white, keep it simple.
It's something we push at Boxay all the time. We're
were
such a
just
fan of
talking about
black and
that.
white, and so something like this we love because anyone and everyone will just be like, pink, how about pink, how about purple, how about blue, and it's black and white because it just makes everything else pop, and yeah, this is great.
Because would your hot sauce color, the hot sauce itself, stand out as much if you had something
That's
distracting?
the thing
Exactly.
too. It really
No.
complements the product, which is the end what you're trying to sell and push on everybody.
I want to show you this brand, Señor Lechuga. You guys ever heard of Señor Lechuga?
I don't think so.
It's a hot sauce. They're out of Brooklyn, and their label, when you think of minimalist, their label is basically a white label,
Okay.
and Ria was a zero. It was like number, the pound, the number sign, 001, and then the other one was 002, and it was in typewriter font. That's their label. but it's so beautiful. Like, it's just the most simplest label I've ever seen out there, but it's such a beautiful label.
I tell you, I love going to the events that you do, Dave, or you're a part of, and you're vending your product, and they're looking at it, you're explaining it, and all of a sudden the light bulb clicks on the individuals. Like, they look at the bottle, they look at him, they look at the bottle, they look at him, they look, wait, that's you. Like, it's my favorite reaction ever.
Ooh. I actually just saw this somewhere, and I loved it. Same thing too,
I think
because
they were
the
just
white
featured
and
in
black,
yeah.
the colors pop so well, and you're just like instantly drawn to it because you just see, like, the first thing I see is the label, but also like the bright colors of the ingredients inside.
Awesome people. We got to interview them and try their hot sauce on the show, and they were just featured on Food World magazine.
Oh wow, that's cool.
I was too, by the way.
Awesome.
But so being part of the food accelerator, I was asked to be a mentor for a company that's trying to start their barbecue sauce.
Okay.
And it's one of the things I try to help out with branding, but I'm not a professional.
Looks great. How long have you been making the hot sauce for?
So Dave's Angry Sauce started about 3 years ago.
Okay.
2.5, 3 years ago. But I've been making hot sauce for like 11, 12 years maybe.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I have it in my refrigerator, like literally right now. I use it often.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
I actually needed like my re-up today. That's why I came on the podcast.
We're all waiting.
Just stuff one of those in your pocket for now until he's able to deliver.
He ain't
Never
gonna say
seen.
nothing.
Oh, man.
So based on experience, like a lot of like food entrepreneurs who are starting up with a product and trying to introduce that and getting into the market, a lot of it is like they have a struggle. They struggle finding their own identity before even coming up with a logo. It's like the identity, they can't somehow explain that, or how do you want that represented in your product? How do you go about that situation when you encounter like someone, or you may have encountered someone like that already?
Yeah, I think we'll do, when we first meet with clients, we'll kind of we have a few long meetings and a lot of conversation back and forth to really get to know them, to get to know their goal, to get to know their demographic, kind of learning all these different aspects, and then we all kind of use our brains, put them together to kind of help, put forth what we think is that best result too, because that's ultimately like our goal, is to help tell someone's story visually, online, in print, on the shelves, like anywhere it is. And so it's just kind of, and so many of our clients are not one is any bit the same like the one next to it, so
Yeah.
it's very fun for us because then we're not doing the same thing every day, but voicing, coming up with an idea for a Shere Khan, and that's a sit-down restaurant, versus we might have someone come in for like a quick QSR or something they need to be turned around, versus like packaging design where they need to sell like a bunch of stuff on the shelf. So everyone is so different. So I think really building the relationships with the clients and getting to know them, and also we ask, like, we talk a lot to each other, and then we talk a lot to other people, and especially in the food industry, and getting lots of different people's feedback, I think, is helpful sometimes too.
And correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I feel like, at least in my opinion, people might come in thinking that they're confused about their identity, but it's easy to be in your own head, and like you're kind of overthinking it, like, who am I? Like, this is exactly how I need to represent my business, all that sort of thing. And then they come and represent whatever it is that they are doing to us. It's usually like pretty, like their identity is formed, and they just maybe don't have confidence that that's their identity, or like they don't view it that way, I guess.
That way.
So that is kind of one of the things we do, because we're like an objective observer. We kind of reflect back what people really are like for their businesses, and I feel like I would say pretty much always, people are very happy and like feel like they're seeing like the best version of themselves, so it's cool.
Yeah.
So I see that you also like get feedback from other people, not just in your office, it's like outside the office, to see different perspectives and that one.
Yeah, we'll ask a lot of friends, family too, especially when
Nice.
we're giving pitches, because also we are there's going to be a different demographic for every client, but within the food industry, we're there all the time, and typically who we surround ourselves with too. So we kind of get a good idea of that.
Good to know. I mean, I've been looking at the portfolio for Box Creative, and I think you're not just in New Haven; you're also like Hartford area, Milton.
Yeah.
So
New Haven is actually
like,
kind of like the more recent focus that we've been doing on. Even when I first started at Box 8, 4 years ago, mostly everything was in Fairfield or in Hartford, and it's been so rewarding to have everything come to New Haven just because most of us are there. So we're excited to walk into ShareCon and Tavern on State and, Garden Catering Mecha and everything that we're making. We can kind of walk in and see right on the streets, which is very cool for us. But we also travel to West Hartford to go to Treva, or coming down to Fairfield to, I've been to, I think Little Barn is probably my go-to when I go to Westport sometimes.
Breaking Wood.
That burrata.
The burrata.
Oh my God, yes.
I haven't tried that.
Now
Sam helped my life by taking me there.
The burrata's life-changing. It's unlike anything you'll have anywhere else.
Now you mentioned like garden catering. Was that like just that local one too, or is it all of the garden caterings?
All of the garden caterings. They came to us, I think it was last summer or the summer before. The summer before they were about to open up the New Haven location, and so that's what kind of launched their rebrand. And so one by one, each store has kind of been refacing to the new brand that we designed.
Yeah, that's a dope rebrand. Like I noticed it real like with the chicken right in the middle of the
Isn't
green.
it cool?
It's dope. It brings it to that whole like almost like what we were talking about with Roost. When we were dealing with Roost, it has like that fast casual like. Feel, it was dope. I saw it, I looked over, I said, hold on. Garden catering, they got a little hip, huh?
Yeah, because that's
garden, and it really fun. Did pop out, because like, I'm not one to go to garden catering all the time. Last time I probably went there was probably like, maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
But like, even for me, not having been there for so long, I gotta stop myself because I do everything with the cones and the chili and
same.
What's it called again?
Mac and cheese bites.
Home run. I do the home run with everything. Everything.
Yeah.
Oh, everything. But yeah, like I even noticed. I looked over and I was like, oh, hold on, like they're doing something. Okay. So, wow, that was pretty good to be able to see the face behind what that how that came about, and that was pretty cool.
That was a pretty fun project because they came to us with this brand that was nice. I had never heard of garden catering before from being in New Haven for so long. My mom grew up in Greenwich.
Stanford, right?
Yeah, so
Stanford and Fairfield.
Yeah,
Fairfield County in general.
Yeah. So with them, they wanted something a bit more fun because at the end of the day, it's like chicken nuggets, French fries, cones. It's nothing like uppity. They wanted it to be fun, so we kind of like brand things up, how to be like. Added more of like a lively fun chicken, and the way we've just kind of like expanded the brand has been a lot of fun with them, and the ways we named her Gardenia, her the chicken, the big face of garden catering.
It actually has a name.
Gardenia. Yep.
Gardenia, we have a lot of like backstories behind a lot of our brands. Like I want to talk about the beer naming for Illicit.
We've had a lot of fun naming beers.
Oh my god,
for Illicit and Hop Culture, I think.
Yes. Oh, Hop Culture was fun too. Moon Boots, like.
I'm a big Napoleon Dynamite fan.
What's that beer that Andrea mentioned? The Duck. Or is it
Double Fuzzy something?
Double Fuzzy something Ducky Duck or whatever the name is.
From New England
Fuzzy,
Brewing.
What is it? It's like
Fuzzy Baby Ducks.
Fuzzy Baby
New
Ducks.
England Brewing Company, right?
Yeah.
They're fun.
But so we have like a lot of like backstories behind. So a client of ours, like another new brewery that's actually opening in Stratford, Dockside. We just did their brand. It's actually really, really cool. It's like right on the water, and they own the docks that are on, right near where their brewery is, and then they also own like a marina that's attached to their brewery. So like you can, if you own a boat, like you can rent like dock space next to this brewery, and like they have like a whole area downstairs where you could like wash off and like.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and it has food.
Is the location disclosed yet, or?
Yeah, I just went to it a couple weeks ago.
I think so.
I forgot what the exact address is, but.
What's it near? Is it near anything that you can like?
It's at the edge of like Stratford and Trumbull.
What's it called?
Dockside. You should
Stratford and
follow them
Trumbull.
because they're gonna be a social media client. So
Stratford
So
and
fun.
Trumbull.
yeah,
There's no water over there.
there's like
Milford, I think.
Devon,
maybe.
Rivers.
Is it like
Harbor?
near BJ's and Joey C's and all that?
I'm
Like,
gonna be honest. Like
at the Dockside Plaza, or
I'm still like, I've been in New Haven for 10 years, but I still like, I'm like an outsider coming in. You know what I mean? Like
if
I
there's
still
beer-
don't. I don't always know
if there's
exactly
beer
where I am in
and it's
relation.
in Stratford, I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, you
Bring
have
it
to go.
Milford.
Is it
Milford?
Milford?
We have to go there. and find
Okay,
it.
we. I'm sorry, we.
Well, we'll invite you guys to the opening.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
But so like their logo is this woman, and
Yeah, kind of like inspired, the primary logo mark that we developed. This kind of, it just started with a narrative of this backstory of, okay, sailors come home. Who's this woman that she's sending off good luck every time they come back? So we just illustrated this sailor woman looking like person, which was just kind of different too, because sometimes, then it's like a brewery on the water. What do we do to make this a little bit different than something generic that you might see? So that was kind of the route we took, and it was great because they ended up loving it just as much as we do. So
Nice.
yeah,
That's
she's
dope.
like, she looks like this like a tattoo like a Navy person would have like on their arm or something like that. Like she's like a sailor hat,
I'm
and
thinks of it's got me thinking of Rice and Beans. Their character. You ever see? Did you work with them? They were climbers, right? Rice and Beans?
that was before both of our time at
Yeah.
Fox 8, so I'm not super sure, but kind of like it is similar in look. I have seen it before, so I know what you're talking about.
Sorry, guys, we're destroying stuff over here.
no, that's all
This
right.
spinach dip is.
Spinach dip,
Yeah, I
yeah.
need a refill, bro.
Yeah, stay over there.
Still
everything.
significant amount more.
We.
Sam, you only brought half. I can't believe you.
It gets
My
heavy.
bad. I'm over here taking chips out of it, making mad noise. Dave, don't yell at me. He's shaking his head like the disappointed father. He's like, oh god. That's awesome though. Have you any other breweries in Stratford that you guys dealt with? Because I know there's quite a few of them now.
In Stratford specifically,
Yeah, I think there's like 4 of them now
I
with
don't
that
think
dockside
so.
maybe.
that's
We're-
we've done a few breweries though. Like we just did Illicit.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like a social client, but they're we did their brand. They're up in Manchester. That place is crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
a few of team members from Box 8 have gone up. I haven't been yet, but that I think probably one of the most recent fun projects we've done, especially with naming their beers, and not only naming them, but we've kind of like worked with the team members at Illicit and create this backstory. So you'll read on the back of
Yeah.
the can. We did one for
carousel incident.
I think it was Carousel Incident. We named the horse, and she, fell off the carousel, and she's gone rogue because she's been locked up there for years, just going round and round and round. So it's fun because then we kind of get to use. I think all of us at Box 8 like are pretty creative, not just in like designs or what we're doing with words, but we like to have fun and tell stories. So to get to use our brains in different creative ways is always fun, rather than just sitting at the computer
Yeah.
drawing.
So, you talked about designing. You also Box 8 also does content creation, maybe filming. Do you guys outsource that, or do you have like a crew inside that?
So we have both. So we have an in-house photographer we work with. Her name is Megan. I work with her a lot. She's really, really like key for me for like social media to have, constant contact or constant contact, constant content. She takes awesome photography. We actually just shot a bunch of videos for Dockside for content also, with their brewer. Andy, he's awesome. And so she does a little bit of both, but then we also work with a bunch of different photographers. We work with Winter Kaplanson a lot. I don't know if you've seen her Connecticut Food and Farm or Con Food and Farm.
Yeah.
We work with Noah.
No Effects, he's out of Brooklyn.
He's amazing.
And we also, we've made a few videos with them. Kicker Production, they've done a few things. They did a nice video for Winfield. But kind of it's Megan Olsen is the first in-house photographer that we've kind of been working with. So then it's just, and it just depends. Every, like how everyone's style is different for their food and the restaurant. So also with like food styling and photography and kind of, deciding which photographer might best suit a different client depending on the visuals that they're trying to give across. Even like for some of the new garden catering, we did some fun studio work with Noah. We made just this crazy mess of like ketchup, honey mustard, French fries, like shit just everywhere all over the table. So it was a bright, more fun and poppy. And then Winter sought some awesome stuff for Hop Culture. She just nails the golden light shot on the farm, and so it just depends. Everyone has a different style, and
I want that type of job. To throw stuff and take pictures of it. I'm down. Make a mess with ketchup.
We'll let you know when the next garden catering shoot is on site. When we need some
He's gonna be
hand
he's
models.
gonna be laying in it.
Yeah, you guys.
There
I
comes
don't
like
mind.
the place to be.
You like
Sounds like
splatter
champagne.
ketchup at me? That's fine with me. Huh?
I have a photo shoot on Wednesday.
I can see have that. Remember
Up
that
at
Kate
Tap Rock.
Upton Burger King commercial?
Uh-huh.
That'd be you.
I'm down for like one of those like Baywatch, like running down the beach things and just like ketchup's being thrown at me and stuff. Like,
Yes.
I don't mind. That could be pretty cool.
Farmers
stuff.
market where he's.
Nope.
No,
No.
Nah.
just keep it simple.
No.
Him
Nah.
walking down the farmers market with V's sandwich, somebody's kebabs,
Hot sauce
empanadas.
in your pocket.
Oh, I get what you guys are saying now. So the joke is what they're explaining now is that, and listen, it's because I love to support my people, right? So I'm gonna go to the farmers market every Saturday that I went there. I literally would go down the line. I'd order from my buddy V, I'd order from Dave. I would help him. He over here, I'd criticize his table because he wouldn't have the bottle straight. But some days when I had to re up on my hot sauce, I'd get the hot sauce, and then I'd go right over to Betsy's empanadas and go get some empanadas, and then I'd walk over to Julissa and I'd get some kebabs, and you see me with a sandwich, a kebab, an empanada, some hot sauce, and literally almost every Saturday you see me walking around like this, taking bites out of each thing, and they all make fun of me, but I'm like, yo, I'm supporting every one of you. Like, for me personally, I'm like, yo, if I'm buying like a sandwich for my buddy, I want to also buy stuff from them. Like, I don't want nobody to feel like I'm. And plus,
Of course.
can't you tell? Like,
It's the farmer's market.
We do
I'm
the
a growing
same
boy,
stuff. Exactly.
donut, smoothie, coffee,
Yes,
vegetables.
yes, yeah.
Got them all.
Yeah.
Which farmer's market do you guys go
We
to?
saw the picture with Sam with tequila.
So the one that specific farmers market is the Stratfield Farmers Market in Bridgeport. It's right on Stratfield and North Avenue. It's a really nice little park there. What's the name of the park again?
Clinton Park.
Clinton Park right there. It's right before you get over to like the Mountain Grove Cemetery, Fairfield Bridgeport line.
Okay. I can check it
So
out.
it's as if you're gonna go over to like garden catering in Fairfield.
Okay.
Like, so you would pass by that area there, and you would see that spot. And then I know some of the other friends of ours. I don't know. Did either of you ever do the Thursday downtown farmers market?
Yeah.
You did, right?
I went and eat, but I didn't do it.
So then they also go to another one. They do the downtown one at McClevely Green. McClevely, whatever. I don't know.
Proof pizza is there. That's why I go there.
Yeah. On
Pizza.
Thursdays, the proof pizza.
You have
yeah.
to try proof pizza. Yeah.
It's a food.
I'll put you on soon.
Okay.
They're at Voracious Brew all the time. That's the one like in Monroe somewhere, right?
Yeah.
They're at Voracious Brewing Company in like Monroe area all the time, vending their pizza. Great pizza, great people.
Yum. We're big farmers market people too. Also,
That's right.
ours is on Saturday.
Yeah. I've been thinking of doing the City Seed market. I forget what it was that I haven't done it. I haven't signed up yet, but before the winter market's over. Otherwise, I'll do the Worcester Square one. I want to do because last year was just strictly Bridgeport Farmers Market. Maybe this year I'll do some New Haven, Westport.
It's good. A lot of so I work at the farmers market on Saturdays. Not so much at the winter one, just because it's like really
But I've seen the
sparse.
Jitterbug truck out there.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They do both of them. So I work with George Hall Farm, which is up in Simsbury. I've actually never been to their actual farm, but I want to go for this planting season. But I work with like Darren Hall and his whole farm team, I guess. And I just I help vend out. I sell vegetables, so that's why I was saying I'm all about my vegetables.
Right. They have hot peppers.
In the summer.
Yeah.
In the summer. Sam makes fun of me I'm in the summer I literally have like bundles of vegetables like on me at any time, especially on Saturdays.
Corn.
There's like there's a
She
running
opens up her
joke.
jacket.
I'll literally have like a bundle of corn, like no less than 60 ears of corn, and I've gone to our friend's house and I'm like, you get a corn, you get a corn, you get a corn. Like,
Everybody getting corn.
we're eating cornbread for weeks.
The cornbread she made was 10 out of 10. So
Was it?
make it anytime.
I
So
love me
good,
a
so
good
thick,
cornbread.
so creamy.
It's fresh corn. Like there's, I cannot not eat farmers market ingredients. Like I'm so happy to hear that you guys are into the farmers market because
Yeah, I love
that's
it.
like, that is my life. I can't eat normal grocery store food. It makes me like disgusted. That sounds like so pretentious, but
Sorry. That's why this is not normal hot sauce. It's
exactly.
You won't catch it in normal supermarket. I mean, it's
You
not,
should sell it at Edge of the Woods.
Not
Major
yet.
market.
Not yet.
I've heard that before. Edge of the Woods, where's that?
That's in New Haven.
So
That's
Wa-
up
Wally
by
Avenue.
Yeah, that's near Southern, kind of near Southern. So
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I have a kind of announcement. I forgot about it.
Go ahead.
Listen,
Chabas-
unless that
Chabas-
announcement means barbecue sauce, I don't want to hear it.
No. Dave's Angel Sauce is going to be in Chabasso's Bakery.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Where's the clap for that, bro?
Where's the clap for
Yes.
it? Come on, congratulations.
That's a real life one.
There you go. I like that.
So you put it in the bread?
No. So they have a small storefront.
Okay.
They teamed up with Collab and City Seed.
Nice.
So anybody who's
Part of collab.
part of
yeah.
the food accelerator
Okay.
who has a product, they're given the opportunity to sell.
Nice.
And I said, yeah, sure, I'll try it out. So Sopa, I think, is gonna be in there.
Sopa.
So yeah, so I'm excited.
So I have to ask. I know you've mentioned about quite a few different like fun projects that you've done. Different, you talk about the breweries and how fun that is. What is the single most or single your single favorite thing to do when what you guys do? Like, what is the one thing that if you said, you know what, I had to do for forever and just this one thing, what would that be for you if you have that?
I think it's what I'm doing kind of like right now, and it's not like a one particular task, but when I think a client comes to us, almost a rebrand is a little bit more rewarding sometimes, but they come with this idea, we design it out, and then to work with them and see it fully executed and get to walk into the space and see all like everything that we wished and hoped it would be, it happens and it comes to life, which is cool in this job in particular because I've had a few others where it's just pitch after pitch after pitch or different mock-ups, but to see what we make is produced and then we get to go eat there and drink as well, it just is like 10 out of 10. It's awesome. We bring our friends. It's like continuing. It never ends. The project never ends, and those are our favorite projects too, when we get to like keep working with people. And because even right now we're kind of working with one client in particular, and there's like possibilities for new spaces open and to go in and see all this potential, mock it up, and then we'll get to create it and bring it to life and be inside. It's just the coolest thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I love, and it doesn't get old.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I'm honestly, I would choose anything like it's not so much like a type of project as a type of client. Like I always want to just work with somebody who's like excited, creative, like gets it, like isn't trying to hold back. Yeah, exactly. Like if you're somebody who's kind of like gonna trust us to do our jobs, just like I'm going to your business, like I trust you to do your job. I'm not trying to get up and serve everyone or like get in the kitchen and cook or whatever it is. Like somebody who understands that different people are playing different roles in this, and you are positively like empowering me to do the best job I possibly can for you. That's the best. So like, yeah, just clients that are like excited and creative, and down to like build something really fun and like just realize like life is anything that we want it to be. And like if you like with SheerCon, that was really cool. The awkward comedy show, that they just did for Valentine's Day, which I thought was like an amazing
That was fun.
concept. Like just running with that, or like for Doro, like we have another big client up in the West Hartford area, and then they have another restaurant in Manchester, the Doro Restaurant Group. They own Aver, Brasserie, Treva, and Zahara Mediterranean Kitchen and ABC.
Zahara, I love that.
Oh my God. I had my birthday dinner with my family there this year. Amazing. And then they also have ABC Artisanal Burger Company. So like we get to literally write memes for our job and then like make them go viral. Like that's so cool to me, but it also is cool because, you know, the person who owns the business isn't necessarily like, oh, LOL, this meme. You know, they're just trusting me to understand what's going on social media at this time and do the job the best that I can and represent their brand correctly. So, yeah, those kind of clients are my favorite. But literally could be anything as long as your stuff is like great. I don't like working. Well, we've never had any clients like that.
Yeah.
You haven't had any clients?
They
that were
can't be
just like-
helped.
No.
They're like, we're coming if you like. All right, so like when I think of that, I think of like was it Hell's Kitchen, or no restaurant? Oh, I even forgot.
Restaurant Rescue?
No, the one
Impossible.
with Gordon Ramsay.
Oh,
Isn't that Restaurant Rescue or like 911 Kitchen or
No,
like
It's,
something
it's like
that?
Hell's Kitchen or something like that, or is it whatever. I know he has another show that I think it's called Hell's Kitchen. Is the one he's cooking, but this one's the one where like he rescues the restaurant.
Right.
And it's like, yo, you know that you reached out to him, and as he's coming in here telling you what's going on, you're like, no, like. Why reach out if you're not gonna like accept the help or anything? So you guys haven't experienced that yet in your work, where you have people come out and reach out to you, and then you put all this effort into giving them what was envisioned, and then they say, oh, no, not working, or nah, that's not what we had in mind, and go from there.
It's hard. I think, us too, we get so excited, and it's because it's what we do every day, but at the end of the day, it's someone's child, so it's hard not to want to maybe let that go as easily as you would maybe hand something like that off. So kind of working with them to make them though as comfortable as they can, and to we understand that this is huge and it's your life and it's your job and it's the food, and we get that and we want to help. So there's sometimes it's not quite perfect, or other times it's okay, yes, but we got to make the blue green, and so we'll compromise and kind of form different things together. Sometimes it's yes, I love it 100%, which is great and fun with us, but it's also we like to work with people, and we want everyone happy. So
you guys do designing, like I mentioned, content creation. I know printing and packaging. You guys can help with that. You guys don't do menus, right? You just
we do menu.
Yeah, that's
actual food menu, though. Like not designing of the menu.
No, we don't write the food.
Oh,
menus.
creation of the menu? No, the chef.
Okay,
the chef.
that's a chef. Okay.
Yeah. But Sam is the queen of menu design. I
of
feel
menu.
like you could just
Alright.
I feel like you do the.
It was honestly probably my biggest struggle once I started working at Box 8, and has now turned into one of my favorite things to do. Shirkan was such
That was awesome. Yeah.
It was a fun menu to design and create, and it's, we sat there with folds of paper trying to figure out which way might be cool, because sometimes you walk into a space, I don't know one off the top of my head, but you walk in and you're looking at the menu for 25 minutes, and the waiter's like, what do you want to do? And it's like, I don't know, I haven't read anything yet, I'm just staring at this. Right. So making things interesting and cool, but also okay, let's just order some food and keep this here and look at it. Right.
Yeah, I hate going to a restaurant and you get this menu, it's 4 pages long.
No.
Like going to a diner.
Yeah, the diner, for me, the diner's okay. You expect that out of a diner. If I wanted a diner type of menu, I'd go to the diner. You know
but you
what
also
I mean?
know what you want from a diner.
Yeah,
that's
generally,
true.
yeah. Generally, you know what you want, depending on the time frame, but, it's always good for breakfast.
What do you get at the diner?
What do I get at the diner? Depends for me on the time of day, but generally I get, I don't know, a corned beef hash with scrambled eggs and the potatoes on the side, or I'm a huge fan of Eggs Benedict.
Okay.
So especially if they have different
Fancy.
variations, if they'll do a crab cake Eggs Benedict or something, I love
From
it.
a diner?
Fancy, man.
You're risky.
The Eggs Benedict I do at the diner, but if I go to places, other breakfast restaurants like Pops in Milford, or you go to a place like Chips or something, other breakfast spots like that, if they offer or even you go to brunch spots, Sign of a Whale or things like that for brunch. Maddo, if I even said that right, in Shelton. Different places like that offer eggs Benedict.
Yeah.
But the diner is just like regular
I'm
eggs
a pancake
Benedict.
guy. I can eat pancakes
Had
for
chocolate
dinner.
pancakes last night.
Gotta have the
I envy
pancakes at
you.
Place to Be. You guys have to go up to Hartford and go to Place to Be.
The place to be.
Place to Be. Oh my gosh.
She's
Gina, talk about a fun client who gets it. She's
Yeah.
amazing.
That's cool.
She's incredible. Young female entrepreneur, business owner. She has like the most amazing brunch spot. Her pancakes are incredible, and it's like bottomless mimosas. Everything is amazing.
You got me at bottomless.
Oh, well, so the tagline is so funny. Sam came up with it.
Yeah, we were, so Gina came to us for a rebrand. I'm not quite sure on the dates. And we were sitting there kind of brainstorming on, like, a ways to kind of, because brunch almost, sometimes you see it's kind of been, like, overly cute, and everyone jokes now about, like, the boomerang with the mimosas because everyone's doing it. And so it's kind of, how can we take this even further and make it even better, and kind of so step away from cute, and we just got really loud. And I was sitting there with creative director Jeremy one day, and I was just like, bottomless, like go bottomless, like
No
bottomless
pants.
mimosas, like no pants. And so it's just like escalated into this like very funny, loud, and she lets us get quite inappropriate on social media depending on the captions. But
Don't tell my friends that. They might actually take it literal.
I mean, like, the logo is a bathtub.
yeah, so it's because she serves these giant like brunch cocktails in this bathtub, and so it just has served, that then translated into us designing one of her logo marks is the bathtub because of what she serves her drinks in. And hopefully in future spaces there's bathtub couches, and just kind of it's just we've played off of this one drink, and then go bottomless. It's loud, it grabs people's attentions, and it's just something a little bit more than the
pretty dope.
basic brunch. So it's been a lot of fun.
We just, my wife and I went to the Sugar Factory recently.
That looks cool. I haven't been yet.
And
I've never really looked into it. I've seen it a million times, but never really looked at what it is. It's a restaurant, like
it's a restaurant.
Okay.
At the casino, right?
Yeah, at the casino at Foxwoods.
That's why I've never really done.
There's one in Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
Manhattan. So the freaking menu is like 18 pages long because each drink takes up a whole page, but it's basically they serve you like a freaking 32 ounce maybe. It's a huge bowl, but it's like served with in their liquor like margaritas and all that, but they're served with gummy bears and all sorts of candy. So they loaded it up, and then they do the whole what's that gas? Liquid
nitrogen. Yeah.
So
So
it's a nice
smoking effect on
demonstration, yeah. But we didn't do that. I was like, yo, we're not doing that because there was something I wanted to eat, and it's like, if we order that drink, man, we're not gonna finish it. So we're like, we'll do it next time.
Casino prices, so
That's true.
I know.
Yo, for real.
Oh yeah, because they were like $37 for one drink
Yeah, no, I'm good.
At
at
Foxwoods.
at Sugar Factory. But
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So
no.
we opted out.
You know what disappoints me when you go to a place for brunch, and there is no bottomless mimosa there. Like that's a total.
crime.
That's a total. Like we look at the menus before we look at it. Somebody recommends, oh, this place is great for brunch. We look at it and we go, I don't care how great the food is. There's nothing that says bottomless mimosas on here. We're not going. Like
So that's we were talking about that with a bunch of our clients. Like, when you look at a brunch menu, like, it's not even really about the food. It's about day drinking. Like,
yeah.
and if it doesn't have a good cocktail menu or a good deal that makes you feel like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. and it's okay that I'm gonna have 3 cocktails. Like,
In the first hour.
yeah.
I think Woodbridge Social is actually there in closer to Amity and New Haven, and that's been probably one of my favorite bottomless brunch places, at least close to New Haven.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't have too many options of bottomless there, although regular brunch just started at Tavern on State, and
Yes.
we haven't been yet and need to
We've
go.
been there for their regular food a lot.
I was there Friday yesterday.
Dangerous.
So there are clients that you've had where they didn't offer that at some point, and then you kind of like had to like
I don't
get
think
them to
so.
do it, or it was just more of like letting them know, hey, you have to focus more on that rather than your food itself on like your menu, where
No,
you kind of like
Just with clients recently, we were just talking about how like the cocktail menu is more important almost than the food at brunch.
Oh, yeah.
Not that it's more important, but like it's what you're looking at first. Like what's gonna bring people in is a cocktail deal and like a really cool punch bowl or like something like that, and then the food is kind of like your food needs to be good, but it's almost an afterthought for the customer for why they're coming in.
Yeah, it's the icing. It's the icing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you just assume the food's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I mean, and
guess.
after a few mimosas, to be honest, I mean, the food's gonna taste good anyway.
Exactly.
Bacon, potatoes, it's all.
Yeah, that's it. It's all the same. You know what I mean? No, but definitely, like I said, like for us personally, like yeah, if we're gonna go on a Sunday for brunch, like if we're going anywhere for brunch, and like specifically, it's for that. It's we want to go have mimosas during the day. And generally, you probably had a really rough night the night before, and you need a there's a special name for that. You gotta,
Hair
like,
of the dog.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
drink. You gotta drink the next morning to make sure you get rid of that hangover.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
You know.
I love a Bloody Mary. Like that is a lifesaver. Or a Bloody Maria. Love a Bloody Maria.
Bloody Maria.
Maria.
Explain.
It's just a Bloody Mary, but instead of vodka, it's tequila.
Okay.
Oh, even better.
Or what's the name of there's a variation of a Bloody Maria. I forget what it's called, but you put a Corona in it also.
Oh, with the
Seen those
coronitas.
recently.
Yeah,
Coronitas, the little
maybe.
ones. It's like the margaritas when they put the little coronitas in them. That's really good because you feel like you feel like it's never going away because as you drink, the Corona empties itself out.
Exactly.
And it keeps filling up. It's great. It's great. I love it. So
Yeah.
where would you recommend for a Bloody Mary? Because I had one, and it was horrendous. So I never went to try one ever again.
So I'm gonna go and say my friend Hannah, like who's my friend, like at her apartment, like
So
that is the best.
Hannah, if
Hannah
you're listening
Milliken.
to this,
Brunch
you need-
at Hannah's tomorrow.
Oh, with her 2 sweet cats, her beautiful boyfriend Will, love them both. They're the best. Shout them out right now.
Well, we're only coming over for Bloody Marys. All right.
Yes.
You got new friends.
And
huh?
I'll
You
pet
got
the
new
cats too.
friends.
Don't worry
So
about it.
Hannah she understands, like she makes the Bloody Mary perfect with like the right horseradish. It's never like watery. It's more like, the good concentrated. She makes it spicy. She puts the right amount of. She understands it needs salt and it needs pepper, olives, everything.
You know what
She's
I
perfect.
need? I need somebody to come up with a cocktail with my hot sauce.
Okay, bloody like the
I
perfect
mean, we're
Bloody
talking
Mary.
to a creative team here.
Yeah, right.
I mean, hey, like
If we
Yeah,
get to
let's
bring
do
this
it.
home, we'll make
Okay.
it for you.
I told you already. Just take the bottle with you. You
What bottle?
think I'm joking? Like,
I wanted to save this for last week, almost coming to a wrap, but wanted to, because social media, you don't need to have a business, or you could just be, just want to have a lot of followers, But so what are some of the important things that a business owner like us need to understand about social media? Like, what's basic? How
So
often
many
do we
things.
need, how often do we need to post? Or and I know that question alone can be a long answer.
So there's a lot of different things, but that just on the bottom line would say it's not as much like that there's like a set rule for how often you need to post. It's more so like staying consistent. So your follower base knows what to expect from you. So because like if you're posting every day for like a month and then you randomly drop to once a week, it's gonna be confusing to your follower base, and they're gonna have gone expecting getting content from you all the time to, they think that you're just gone or whatever. Like they don't really understand what's going on. So it doesn't matter what rule you choose. It's just sticking to a
find your
consistent
comfort,
rule.
yeah.
Something that's doable for you. I would say, my recommendation would be 3 times a week minimum. Anything, the more the merrier to an extent. Like I would say no more than 2 or 3 times a day at the maximum if you have that capacity, but minimum of 3 times a week. But really, like, don't just post to post. Like you need to have quality content.
Right. I was about to say, so I'm a huge follower of Gary Vee. So, he's on top of, he rips people apart when they ask a question. I'm going to ask you the question. What if someone says, I don't have that much content, or I don't know what to post, or,
You gotta, there's a lot of different ways. You gotta take some time and like set aside some time to plan content. Like that's something that we do all the time. So, you know, I'll sit back and like brainstorm campaigns something that's nice about like working in a creative agency, and I work with Sam on a lot of brands, like where she's the lead designer and I get to collaborate with her on brands. So we get to talk together about something we think would be cool for whatever given promotion. So like literally like, oh, we have to promote this wine dinner or whatever for this restaurant. What's an interesting way that we're gonna have that live across you know, print menus and like physical collateral to email newsletters to a social media campaign. So we'll like sit down and come up with a campaign idea, and it kind of builds itself from there. So like I'm trying to think of like a good example right now. Like for Treva, I love like the pasta memes we did for them. So we did this campaign for Treva, which is in West Hartford, where we were just promoting like kind of just general brand awareness, but like showing that it was more hip. And so we kind of came up with, they have like a lot of like vintage photos in there of Italy, and it's an Italian restaurant. So we found like these funny vintage photos,
people like shoving pasta into their face, like eating it on a boat, kind of like loud, because it's just fun and grabs attention. It's more nicer restaurant, you know, not something like garden catering. So just to bring in a little bit of like humor, fun, grabs the attention, I think, right away on the cell phone, and people like to share it. And
yeah, so like we came up with this concept of like doing these old-fashioned funny photos that we could find on iStock of like whatever like funny pasta images, and then, you know, it's just like the memes, the content writes itself. So like if you can identify a few different campaigns, like things that you want to have, so say it's like, okay, I want to do brand awareness, that's one of my campaigns I want to promote. I want to promote this specific event, I want to have this specific product for this offer be promoted. So I identify like 4 campaigns, then you're gonna write the content for it, and it becomes more manageable for you, I guess. And then another thing, you have to review your analytics constantly, like very religiously, and see what your followers are responding to positively and what they're not responding to so positively. So I mean, it doesn't mean like shape your entire brand around what people respond to well, but like if you have a certain type of post that does, you know, signify your brand very well, maybe you can replicate that and make that like a template, so it's a type of post that you go back to over and over again, and you're just changing the information, but it's like the same format. It's also very nice for your follower to see, because that's really like another way to push your brand recognition, because that's part of your branding. That's another way that people are understanding you. They're seeing this type of post is something that is part of your branding and part of you know, just who you are and your familiarity on social media. So they know already, like, oh, I see this type of post, I know it's going to be about this company and it's going to be about this topic, and you're just changing like one detail of the information. So that's another way. I have so much. I don't know.
Which is why you get paid for what you do. That's awesome.
You can see, not only from them explaining, you know, you explaining your passion for it, you can see it. You know what I mean? And every question, I'm like, look at it, I'm like, man, they really do like what they do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can just see and you can feel it. You know what I mean? And that's dope. That's dope.
No, that's awesome, guys. Yeah. Those of you guys listening, you know, make sure you look up Box 8. You know, and sometimes, you know, you just gotta seek help and grow your business, expand.
Gotta spend money to make money.
There you go. Exactly.
I got no money, boss.
Is there? So how can the listeners follow you guys?
I think Instagram is probably the most prominent. That, and keeping, you know, we update our website semi-regularly. Social media is kind of like where we're most active.
And that's at Box 8.
Yeah,
Box 8 Creative.
Creative.
So it's like Box, the number 8 Creative, all one word.
All one word.
And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, you also can. My handle is @xwaitress. It's EX waitress, all one word. I'm a former waitress, so.
I remember the first time she explained it to me. I actually met Carissa at the
Two Roads
Cowie event
Yes.
at Two Roads.
So good.
That was a
one.
great event. You know what I mean? She explained it just like that. She goes, "Oh, ex-waitress. It's because I was an ex-waitress." You know what I mean? I was like, "Oh, okay." I was confused, but she was like so excited to make sure that was
Well,
like pointed out.
I love that name because I feel like it was a perfect name to choose for my own brand, because it's always true no matter what. And I work with food and restaurant businesses, so it's already like
Can relate. Right
I'm
away.
part of I'm part of this group. I know what's going on, so I
and
love
just
that name.
and just so you guys know, Box 8, correct me if I'm wrong, because I asked you, I think you said you guys work exclusively in the food and
Food industry.
hospitality
Not just
business.
limited.
exclusively, but I would say like 95%.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just okay. All right. So yeah, check them out. Any shout outs? Anybody want to shout out?
I'd say to the rest of the Box 8 who wasn't here.
Yeah.
So, business owner, creative director, Jeremy Stabb, Chuck Brooks, Ashley Artis, all the we have
Megan Olson.
Larissa. Because without like Box 8 is truly, and even us just two sitting here, like I think what makes us so successful and so happy is working together, and it's fun. We love doing it. We love eating. We love drinking.
Yeah. Shout out my most recent former social media intern. I'm so proud of her. Erin McKenna. She just finished 2 internship terms with us. She was my first intern, so I'm so proud of her. And she just got a job, like a big girl job. So I'm very proud of her.
Nice.
And she's an artist also. And we just both went to an art opening that she had, Mill Street in New Haven, where she had like an installation showing. So
Nice.
shout her out for
Congrats.
and she's from Fairfield, so.
What was your handle on Instagram, if you don't mind giving it to
I
the
am
people?
private. It's S.
She's-
Angerman. There's gonna be. I'll have a.
What about Wiley's?
Yeah, you can follow @Sir Wiles, my dog. He's pretty prominent on the Box 8 Instagram.
Which one's that? I'm down with following dogs. My wife
He's
loves following dogs.
Wiley is an angel.
He's the office. He's there probably almost every
Yeah,
day.
this show would probably last another hour just talking about dogs.
Yeah.
We've done
No.
that.
Oh yeah.
Wiley is my favorite coworker.
That, and I have one cat. I have one cat on my
Do
page
you?
that I follow.
You must
yeah.
hate that cat because I did not know you had a cat.
No, not my cat. I'm talking about
Oh.
I follow the cat. No, not Nacho Flay. Nacho Flay. It's Bobby Flay's cat. Oh, he's the best. It's the best.
I have to say, shout out my cat. I just adopted a cat this week with my boyfriend.
Oh, congrats on the kitty cat.
Emerson Miso.
Do him over, let us.
Yeah.
Oh man! Shout out to all those individuals. Thank you for coming on the show
Yes,
again.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you
This
very
was delicious. I gotta say,
Oh,
all of
man.
your food was amazing. We didn't really talk about it, but
It's all right. It's
it
all
was
right.
all
It's all
so
about you.
good.
Oh man, this.
Well, these two are good.
Yes.
He put a spoonful of the spinach dip on there, and goes to give it back. I'm like,
More.
more.
Not that.
I took
Yes.
like 8 scoops of this.
So I do expect a recipe with that because that's
Stop
I would
being
not touch
demanding, bro.
any of that
quinoa.
quinoa.
Do you have a name for this? Like a special name for that quinoa? Like,
No, I don't know. I just like
It'll be in the ex-waitress cookbook, which is to come.
Gotta push it.
So
You gotta
it
push
will
it.
be there.
Sam wants me to do it.
I'm gonna push her. It's gonna happen.
yeah, it is really good.
It'll be
That's
in there,
really good.
and then we'll
It's
send you
easy
guys a
these
copy.
days. Anybody can write a book now.
That's what, we got the Megan to help us take the pictures. We got Ashley to help direct. Where
got
it
a whole-
can make
you got a whole
itself so
team.
easily. So
Yeah.
once we do it, you guys will have a copy, and then you'll have that recipe.
Word,
Nice.
word. That'd be dope.
I love them eggs that breakfast
Oh my
with the hot
God.
sauce though. You have to
I'm one hot sauce, everything. I got an entire thing of hot sauce at brunch this morning, and I was like, "Sorry guys, you don't get this." Like, dumped it on myself, and then eggs. Like I get made fun of by my coworkers all the time. I love my eggs. I love like a soft boiled egg. I'm always talking about eggs.
I'm always talking about cheese and my lactose intolerance and a struggle, but
No, I don't got
okay, I have
lactose.
the pills in my pocket at all times.
Sam has lactate pills hidden in the closet or in the cabinet at my apartment.
Every friend's house.
Emergency
One
break.
of my old coworker, same thing. He'd be like, "What's for lunch today?" When we worked at a company, they supplied lunch every day. So he was, "Oh, what's for lunch today?" And I go, "Oh, this, and that." He goes, "Yeah, it sounds like I need to take my pill."
Yes.
I was like,
Do you
"Okay."
want to take this opportunity to announce any pop-ups you guys are hosting, or not hosting, but like
Any events, anything that you got coming up that you want individuals to know about?
Events? I'm not sure about. Well, I guess I have a whiskey dinner for ABC that's coming up. I think it's March. It's maybe March 11th or something. I don't remember what the date is, but it's typically they're on a Monday. So it's a Monday in March at ABC. It's up in Manchester.
Are tickets still on sale for the Cure Starts Now event on Friday night?
Yeah, tomorrow is the very last day to buy them, and I need to buy mine.
Yeah, and by the time people hear this on the radio, it'll already been
that's
past
true.
tomorrow. Tomorrow, when you're listening, will actually be yesterday. So, sorry, guys.
Well, okay, so not that, but place to be. I talked to Gina. She said it was okay to say.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Gina.
No, she said it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Place to be, which is like that brunch place we were talking about, is opening 2 new locations.
Hopefully we get
Wow.
the 2. I don't know. if
No,
the
she
user
got
says.
it. She got it.
Cool.
I talked to her.
Amazing.
Yeah. So she's opening a location in downtown Hartford, at Spectra, what was formerly Spectra Wired, and then she's opening another one in West Hartford in Blueback Square.
Nice.
And they are going to be.
Congratulations. That's
Right there.
awesome.
They're going to be very,
Yeah.
very, very fun.
I cannot wait to go to those openings. They are going to be amazing.
so all this act.
Sounds like we got a lot of openings to visit. I'm
Right?
just saying. Like,
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, Dockside. You got to go to that.
Yeah.
So follow Box 8 Creative to keep up with all these events and all the work that they're putting in. Vito, what do you got going on? Any shout outs?
No shout out, man. Shout out to these young ladies taking all this information in, and
Right.
hopefully somebody out there reach out, or it'll help them, post and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, Vito is known for liking his own pictures. Is that okay?
Before
Hey,
anybody
hey,
else likes
hey.
it.
Tell
does
them why you
Wiley.
like
so
your
does
own-
Wiley's Instagram. He does the same thing.
Yeah.
Tell them why you like your own pictures, though. Do you know?
Well, because you need the engagement at the beginning. So, okay, I do that too on all of my accounts. So, whenever I post a picture, listen, you're not doing it wrong. You're doing it
No,
right.
I know, because it'll
So-
refresh
Please,
it.
please,
It'll be-
please. Hold on.
It'll bring
First,
it back.
please.
It'll bring it back, and people see it again.
Don't blow his head up. please.
No, but it
'Cause that
is
head
the
gets
correct
big.
technique.
It's a strategy,
time.
bro.
Yes, it's where I do it. I do
We
it
here.
also.
We're here.
I go on all the accounts that we have, and I like everyone's photos like within the first minute so that they get the best engagement rate. Yeah.
I'm on your side, man. I like your photo right away.
Thank you. Appreciate
We're
it.
both.
Thank you. These haters over there.
Riel is definitely a big supporter on all the posts, no matter who it is. He's great.
Of course.
Then you got Vampire Foodie. She's got a bunch of different pages
Yeah.
that she gets on. She does it too. She's awesome.
Rio, what do you got going on?
Nothing much though. Well, I'm excited. Visiting all of those recommendations. Like the place to be that you mentioned looks like it's
Yes.
interesting. I'll try that next
Yeah,
time.
you got all of our clients, all the West Hartford clients. They're
West Hartford.
amazing. Treva, Ver Zahara, you already love them.
Zor.
ABC, Place to Be, Tap Rock, which is in Unionville. They're delicious. Also very fun to drink at. Shercon, you guys have been there.
We should put up a list in our whatever they're recommending. Maybe we should put up a list of that.
Yeah, we'll send them.
Yeah, we got a lot.
And I'm digging the beard, Rio. I'm digging it. You probably don't think it's looking good.
It's just yeah, I'll grow it. I'll grow as long as yours, man.
What's going on, Manny?
I was about to say, you're not gonna say my name. Like you were just looking at me like, all right, go ahead, talk.
Go ahead.
What do you guys think of my beard?
Your beard's great.
been
Yeah,
trying. I've
we're
been trying. I
close.
I shaved him
We're
before I
close.
got here.
I don't have anything. I don't have anything. I'm yeah, no, don't got anything.
Yeah.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Anything?
Nothing.
Nada.
I'm no.
Okay.
I got nothing. I don't have anything.
How can they follow you guys? I'm sorry.
at Spice Action at Instagram.
I'm doing it right now.
Instagram_chef_V.
Wait, Instagram is part of your name?
Nah, B. You know what, bro? On Instagram @_chef_V. Is that better?
Thank you. I got you confused me.
Mine is _Theo Fridge.
Undercooked Theo Fridge. You can follow me at Dave's Angry Sauce. Check out the website, davesangrySauce.com. Like I mentioned before, I will be, I think, starting Tuesday at Chabasso Bakery in New Haven on James Street, next to Bear's Smokehouse. Yo, check it out. If you in New Haven and you need that hot sauce, go pick it up.
You
at
said
Chabasso.
Bear's Smokehouse too, dude. That pastrami Thursday.
Oh, I'm going there.
Dude,
Thursday.
that had the burnt end poutine with the burnt end pastrami. Like, oh my god.
I was there yesterday.
It was just glorious. Glorious.
I had a whole rack.
Oh, I do have I get to find out what my baby is next week.
You're having a baby?
Yeah,
my
she's 4 months, so we get to find out next week what it is.
We should have like a gender reveal party.
That's
man.
what we're gonna do. A
Right
gender
now.
reveal.
Let's
Well,
do-
Congratulations.
with food.
we use a lot of people. It's gonna be my sister and her sister running it, and we're gonna find out that day. Like listen, I don't want nothing to do with it. Like you run it, I'll show up, and we'll go from there. Like those
gonna
two
involve the
are our
dogs?
box 8. Like that's what, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like you guys run the event, we're good. Like I'll show up. But yeah, I get to find out. I think the dog might be part of it. The little
It
one.
should be.
I think the little one's a part of it.
It's a good idea.
It ain't gonna be a big event though.
And then if it's a boy, you come get all my stuff, bro.
Yo.
You need a cater back, Kawi.
Yeah. No. This is legitimately. Actually, that's not a bad
They'll
idea for
color
the
the
baby
rice.
shower itself, like the actual baby shower. But this literally is like her parents, my parents, the sisters, and that's it. Like just reveal it. All y'all will find out on
Bro,
Facebook.
you're Puerto Rican. It's not going to happen.
It is gonna happen.
Abuela's going to be in the back. The uncles are coming because they brought her.
Nah. It's gonna go live on Facebook. That's how everybody's gonna
Coquito's
find out.
going to be served.
No, Facebook Live. That's how everyone's gonna. I actually had people that texted me upset that because we literally told the family, and immediately we ate at Sol de Cuba in New Haven, and immediately after eating, we went took pictures in front of one of the brownstones there in New Haven, and like posted it within 30 minutes to everyone, right, to Facebook. And people text me, why didn't you tell me? I said, listen, I didn't tell nobody. I just sent it out to Facebook. Like,
Everybody's always so offended about things that are about your own life.
Yeah, but that's my good news. Wrong. Fake news.
Fake news.
Anyways, yeah, that's my good news. I think we're good for
excited.
today,
I'm
right?
excited.
I think that's it. Anybody else got anything?
Nah.
I
No.
got this one last thing I keep forgetting about. These Folks from Texas, they're reviewing my sauce. It'll be airing on YouTube this week. I'll post about it. But yeah, it's they're doing review. It seems legit, and I'm excited about it. And since I've been getting a lot of followers from the West Coast now since they've been posting about it, and that's what's up.
Congratulations.
Don't forget to follow us on Late Night Potluck Show on both Instagram and Facebook, and check us on YouTube. Next episode, I'm excited. Juan from the Colombian Hot Dog.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm excited. That's episode 32. All right. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Carissa.
Thank
Sam.
you again, ladies, for coming in.
You have a good night. Peace.
Have a good one. Peace.
Thanks for listening.
Be sure to join us next time